employees, they have a day-to-day job, right? There's only so much things that an employee can consume, right? Are we going to do another training? Are we going to do another event? But I think we're living in a world now where like a role of the HR or the people organization is to try to meet employees like where they're at, right? So for example, right, if an employee is even just starting to have symptoms of something either for themselves or for their dependent, and they're just curious, like the people team should be thinking about, well, how can technology just make it very easy to engage with them? I'm super excited about Kelly because the tool is going to be able to meet employees at the time that they need it. Like the tool is going to make it so simple for employees to engage with their benefits.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's conversation to talk about the future of work, where technology sits in that, and what it takes to build organizations that genuinely support people. My name is Gabby. I run content over at Kaylee, your AI employee benefits advisor, and I'll be your host for today's conversation. I'm joined by Joe Militello, who is a chief people officer with over 25 years of experience building people organizations at companies like EMC, Pivotal, PagerDuty, and now serving as chief people officer at Mechanical Orchard. So, Joe, I know you've led people through an IPO, hypergrowth, and pretty much everything in between. And I'm super excited to have you today to get your thoughts around what it really takes to build organizations that help people thrive, and what are those systems and processes that you've seen build a strong people organization from the ground up. So thank you so much for joining us today,
Yeah,
Joe.
yeah, thank you for having me, Gabby. Looking forward to that conversation.
Yeah, definitely. So today I was curious to kick things off around benefits utilization. So, it's interesting because I think something like 30% of compensation for employees is part of the benefits package, but unfortunately, only 40% actually goes to be used. And there's this big gap between the benefits that are being offered and what people are actually leveraging on the ground. Why do you think that that is the case today?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. I would characterize it maybe as like we have like a last mile problem. And what I
Hmm.
mean by that is like companies buy great benefits. Like
Yeah.
they invest in their employees, they care about their employees, but then we make the employee responsible for figuring out how to use them. And we need to make it easy for employees to engage and leverage the benefits. And I think that is probably the biggest issue. And the other thing I would say, at least from observation, is that there's so much time and attention focused on open enrollment. There's lots of communications at that point in time. But then throughout the year, how are we making it easy for employees to engage with the benefits at the time that they need it? And so where does technology play in really closing that last mile so that employees are able to find it, access it at the time that they need it in a very easy way?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the last mile problem is a great way to characterize it. A lot of thing that I hear from people leaders that I speak to is, it's a combination of communication, design, and ultimately trust that kind of feed into, employees not really being able to use what they have at their disposal. It's interesting. I actually just saw a report that came out by Integrated Benefits Institute, and they reported that 75% of employees had access to mental health through their employer mental health benefits. And I think less than half were even using them. And it's things like this that kind of really put this problem into perspective for me as I talk to more and more people around this, because unfortunately, due to whatever combination of whether it's like communication or design or trust that there is with the employee, something falls through the cracks. But I'm curious to kind of get your thoughts on where would be some place that you might start to close that gap today.
Yeah, I think it's, I mean, I think it's technology is really the one. I mean, I can certainly default on education and training and communication, right? And that's something I think companies have been trying to do for decades, right?
Yeah.
But employees, they have a day-to-day job, right? And there's only so much things that an employee can consume, right? But I think we're living in a world now where a role of the HR or the people organization is to try to meet employees like where they're at, right? So for example, right, if an employee is even just starting to have symptoms of something either for themselves or for their dependent, and they're just curious, like the people team should be thinking about, well, how can technology just make it very easy to engage with them? Like, hey, were you aware that you have this benefit? Are you aware that, you should do this? Making it easy for employees to engage with what they're trying to figure out, right? As opposed to
Exactly.
just like, hey, go read this, or they have to remember some sort of training that they may not recall because it's outdated or it's been a while.
Yeah, and I really love what you said around meeting employees where they're at. I think that's one of the beauties of technology is that it allows you to sort of design an experience so that it is built into the employee's workflow, their day to day. It's a big reason why Kaylee even came about, as a tool that can be embedded into the employee's experience through their own workflows. The whole point of Kaylee is to be able to be that employee benefits advisor that can kind of help answer those questions, that can help easily determine if maybe the air purifier that you're shopping on Amazon is actually qualified under the benefits that you have. And the other big piece of it is it also takes the load off of the people team of having to also field numerous questions, maybe making the employee feel like they're in a tough spot, having to self-report in ways that maybe an employee isn't quite ready to do. Obviously, there's a lot of things around physical and mental health that many people want to keep private. And so I think that's another benefit of having a tool that can connect into your existing employee benefits plans that already knows what qualifies, what you're eligible for and what you're not. And it takes out the eligibility confusion. It takes out a lot of the process of having to like Google search or go to the FSA store or basically kind of go on a wild goose chase to find the information that they're looking for.
Yeah, I agree with that. And we really are in an exciting time with how technology can be used to help employees. And the way I would kind of just summarize like what you said and what we've been talking about is the future of HR technology should be less about asking employees to go visit another website or another system and about bringing more intelligence to them in the flow of their work and their life.
Exactly. Would you mind sharing a little bit around those core values at Mechanical Orchard and the ways that you're approaching that in your people organization?
Yeah. So first of all, is don't overcomplicate it and focus on the things that are actually going to work and solve the problem. Do the right thing, right? Don't feel like you have to go and get lots of different approvals. Like if you feel like you're doing the right thing for your employee or for the organization, just do it. And then the thing that underpins all of it is be kind.
Hmm.
And those are kind of our three values that kind of underpin how we operate. So it allows for speed, it allows for kindness, it allows for a focus on execution, it allows for a focus on simplicity and not, overcomplicating things.
I love that. And I actually really like that you have kindness as a core value as well. So, curious to get your thoughts around engagement surveys, if you have any.
Okay.
I know that they're kind of a default temperature check across the board. What might be some other signals that you use to see if a workforce is engaged and happy in their role?
Yeah. I mean, certainly there are metrics that, we look at in terms of obviously engagement and attrition and turnover. I would probably start with engagement often improves when you stop adding things and you start removing friction. And so that's how I would kind of focus is like ask employees like what is getting in the way of doing great work and then remove that one thing. 'Cause employees they want to do a good job, right? They just want to do a good job. They want clarity on what they're being, asked to do. They want to be recognized and rewarded for what they do. They also they don't want things to be harder than they need to be, right? And I'm sure all of us can think about like, why is it so hard to do that? Why is it so hard to get that approval? And so I think if one thing like a people leader or people organization can do to improve engagement is just ask employees what is getting in the way of doing great work, and then just remove that one thing.
That's actually really interesting because I think that my brain immediately goes to looking for the additions. It's like, okay, we need to add in order to improve, but actually maybe it's a subtraction game of removing that friction in order to create a better space for people to do the best work that they want to do.
Yeah. Whether you're scaling, an organization or whether you're operating at scale, I believe, I am an operator at heart, and I believe friction gets in the way of execution. It gets in the way of business velocity. And at the end of the day, regardless of where you sit in the organization, you should care about the business and you should care about business velocity.
Do you have any examples of where you've seen that kind of happen and any, yeah, like any
Yeah, they
anecdotes?
can. So it could just be micro or macro in terms of like what are getting in the way of folks like, doing the work. It was actually the example that came up a couple of weeks ago, um, where a leadership team was a mechanical worker because I do some side consulting work, and this
Yeah.
leadership team, they had 15 executives in a room for an hour planning out all the events for the next year. And afterwards, I talked with about half the executives, and they're like, we should not have been in that room, right? That was not a good use of our time. Like, we can empower a member of the leadership team to go solve it with another member of the organization, and they can come back and report. And so that is friction, right? That is,
Yeah.
usually friction shows up in terms of a misuse of time, right? Or you're not being efficient, with your time. And so that's what I would encourage any employee or any HR organization to look at, or any leader for that matter, right? It doesn't just have to be an HR thing. Really, I think the leadership opportunity of ask employees what are the things that are doing that are getting in the way from you doing great work.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds like it's about being able to ask the right questions to get to that root cause. The good news about the example you shared is it was probably very quick to get to that root cause because, okay, it's maybe not the best use of time and people were able to express that immediately. But I imagine eventually it becomes something around being able to do more of that root cause diagnosis across different departments and then be able to make new process improvements that can impact everyone in the long run.
Yeah, and I think these are questions that I think are best suited for those folks that are doing the good work day in and day out. Um,
Yeah.
I think as executives in the organization, like, we generally have the ability to get things done because of just where we sit in the hierarchy of the organization. So we may not always feel full of friction that our employees do. And so I think being aware or, what is causing that friction, right? And something could be is, you know, I'm trying to navigate my benefits and I don't know where to go. I have to go to like 3 different websites to figure this out. Or you're asking me to recall a bunch of information from open enrollment. Like, you're not meeting me where I need to be, you know, where I am today, right? That's
Yeah.
friction, right? Employees are spending 5 hours trying to research their FSA benefit and going to different tools. Like, that in itself is causing friction, right? That's productivity hours, right?
Yeah,
Plus,
definitely.
obviously, an underutilization of the benefit, but also they're spending more time on something that they shouldn't be.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's friction. That's friction. Right. And people, organizations get too oriented. It's like, I want employees happy at work, maybe.
Mhm.
Um, what I care about is I want our employees happy doing the work. Right. And and there's a subtleness there, right? I want them happy doing
Yeah.
the work. Right. And so that means they have clarity on their role. They feel supported. They know how to get their job done. Like, they enjoy, the culture.
Right. It's like you try to kind of maybe fill in the gaps with things instead of targeting the real, well, the meat of it, which is,
Right.
yeah, what we're really hired to do at the end of the day.
Right. And make it as easy as possible to do
Yeah.
great work. I fundamentally believe that everyone wants to do great work.
Yeah, I love that. A lot of the things that we've been talking about today are around like how to help the employees have a better experience, how HR teams can better serve employees. What are your thoughts around the best ways to help HR people and benefit teams themselves have what they need, have the support that they need to better serve employees?
I would encourage the team to focus on what is the business outcome that you're trying to drive? Like, what are you really trying to solve? And then you can use technology or tools to make your lives more effective and more productive. Sometimes there's not enough emphasis on what are we actually trying to solve for? What are the experience we're trying to have for ourselves who are administrating, this type of work? And then, using technology to help kind of solve that.
I love that. Well, rapid fire to close. I'm going to ask you a few quick questions, short and fun.
Okay.
Okay. So the first one, the one HR metric that everyone tracks that you throw out tomorrow.
Raw turnover. I won't give explanations, just raw turnover.
That sounds like one that we would toss out. Most underrated lever for keeping employees engaged and motivated.
Great manager.
Yes, agree with that one. Finish this sentence. You know what people team has earned its seat at the table when blank.
The business calls them before the people problem becomes a people problem.
Okay. Yes. Love that. And most important, where can people find you if they want to learn more?
LinkedIn. So Joe Militello, LinkedIn.
Okay, perfect. Amazing. Thank you so much, Joe. I really enjoyed our conversation.
Thank you so much. It was a lot of fun. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.